Because for those that might not have had any situational awareness, in the bottom corner of the screen, you see a logo that's up there. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, DraftKings Sportsbook. Everybody knows DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. Yes, indeed. Not only are they safe, but they are secure and reliable. I'm talking the leaders when it comes to sports betting, baby. And that's what we love about DraftKings, because they always got the fire odds. They always provide us with great incentives to watch these games, and they make the winning a little bit sweeter. And sometimes when you lose and you parlay it the right way, it still can make the loss a little bit sweeter as well, man. Just depending on how those numbers have worked with you. But the reason why I always enjoy DraftKings is because they supply us with an awesome promo code for all the first time people out there, right? Because everybody was the first at something. It was Deke's first time one time, and I'm hoping that it went well for him because he's back. All right. But when you use that promo code MOATS, you can receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. It's a cool concept. Whatever amount you put in up to $1,000, you type in the promo code MOATS. DraftKings says, you know what? I like this guy. I'm going to match that money. All right. Up to $1,000. So it is an awesome, awesome concept, ladies and gentlemen. But we also know this, Deke.
Yeah.
We know that sometimes people, they overindulge.
Right.
Sometimes when you overindulge, some people might say that you have a problem.
Right.
Well, if you have a problem, there is someone that can help you. If you have a gambling problem, say you might need some crisis counseling, maybe even referral services, Deke.
Right.
There's definitely a number for you to call. You want to know what that number is, Deke?
I mean, you kind of got to know the number. If you're going to call someone.
If you're going to call, you got to know the number, right?
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that number is 1-800-GAMBLER. I say it's 1-800-GAMBLER. Terrence, Garvin, aka TG. What's going on, baby? How we doing over there, man?
My guy, my dog. Feeling good,
Hey,
fresh out the West Virginia spring game. I'm feeling good about that game one, and feeling the atmosphere and being up there. I'm feeling better today than I felt yesterday. And the day before about game one.
You have spring practices to make you feel good. Come on, man.
I'm just saying, now that I see what we're trying to do and how we're trying to structure our business in Morgantown, I feel good about game one. Any doubts have kind of really just
say doubt. What is that? What doubt you talking about?
You had doubts?
You know how it is. You know how, like, during a game week on Monday, you like, this team is all right.
They kind of all right.
And then by Friday, you're like, it's no way they'll see us.
Oh yeah, they trash.
Yeah. I feel like that now. Like the little doubt I had has just totally gone out the window. I know we'll be singing.
Hey, TG, a wise man once told me this is the perfect time to just say, the hay is in the barn.
Yeah,
the hay is in the barn.
I'm feeling good about what we're trying to do. I like the playmakers up there. I like the quarterback that's on the way. I even like the quarterbacks that were there. I like the way they was throwing it up. We trying people. It's just a different. It's make you make a play type mentality. I like what I seen.
Okay.
I like what I'm seeing too. So that makes both of us.
Ooh.
We'll see who's right. We'll see who's right come week one. I forgot to mention too, with all of our back and forth in the past, that we also brought in the top receiver transfer this last offseason too, on top of us already bringing back the Biletnikoff Award winner, the best receiver in college football, Jordan Addison.
Talk your talk, Deke. Talk your talk, Deke.
We got everyone else coming back too. Slovis threw for 30 touchdowns his freshman year.
It's going to be interesting.
The top receiver, I'm pretty sure went to Bama. But, hey,
He was thinking about Bama, Just Pitt.
I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure he went to Bama. Now, I'm not saying I'm the portal.
Fact check.
We gotta fact check that. Like, I am in the frat. I'm in a fraternity, and one thing we say in that fraternity is, where can I read that? Like, it's easy to say something. Where can I read that? I'm not sure that statement's accurate. Like,
He said he needs some paperwork on that one,
Hey,
man.
I need to know where I
I'm
can see
confident,
that.
so we can
I
fact
need
check
that
it.
fact check.
All right. No, I like it. I like it. Hey, but T, man, so check it out, bro. We obviously had big time Steeler news this weekend, man, with the Steelers re-signing Terrell Edmunds, man. What were your thoughts when you first saw that, man? What was your initial reaction to it? Talk about the money associated with it as well, man.
Yeah, I'm into the business of football. I'm big on the business of football. So for the Steelers side of it, I thought it was a great business move. You got to put him out there, let him see what his market was like, give out some fillers. So in a sense, you put it on him a little bit, but then you got to bring him back for almost $4 million cheaper than you would have had to do if you did it for the 5th-year option.
No, it's super cheap, man.
Business wise, it's a great move for them. Great move. You feel that safety position going into the draft. So, in reality, all the spots, in a sense of starter spots, are filled. Now it's just about you can go into that draft, that first pick, and go get what you want, best available. So I think it put a period on the position. Like, I think it gave a sense of like, it is somebody here that you can trust. It's somebody here that you know. But I thought it was a good signing. I thought it was a good move. I guess that means the Tyrann Matthew sweepstakes is over.
I was about to say, man, yeah. Are we still involved with that, man, or is it no more competition? I mean, is this the 2.5? Or does that say to you, no competition? What that say to you, man?
My statement. And being in Morgantown this weekend.
Here he go.
Have we forgotten?
Here he go.
About Carl Joseph being on the roster?
No. We have.
That's a former first-round pick on the roster. Come down in the box, solid tackler, gets a chance to go to a first training camp in Latrobe. You gotta think he came in a sense of free agent pickup last year. They put him on practice squad for the 2 weeks. He didn't do he didn't get to really be out there.
Yeah.
But, you get a chance to send that to a Latrobe, so I think it's still competition. I think it's still a draftable position as well. I do. I think it's best available. I think they're going with best available in the first, and then what feels best available in the second in terms of position need, So that safety still is considerably, it might not be sewed up to where if they're like, and there's some good safeties in this draft, you go best available and you pick a safety.
Hey, so this is from one of the chat members earlier in the podcast. He says, ask TG later what positions on the roster are actual open competitions at camp. So you brought up Carl Joseph. Do you think that's an actual competition between him and Edmunds going into this offseason?
I think that's for surely an actual competition. I think the money-wise tells you that, because not only it's not like you're paying Edmunds a ton of money. So, it's not saying like we're committed here to 1-year deal. I think it still is an open competition. I think that's his job more. He's in first place. He's the favorite. But I think that is a job to keep an eye on for the whole year. You know how Coach Tomlin does. He likes to kind of create packages for people. So I'd be curious to see. I think it trickles down to everything. I think that linebacker play, the safety play, they all are hand to hand, because if the linebacker per se play isn't completely up to par in terms of coverage, you could see a package where you could see like a Edmunds in the game, one at safety, one at dime, just different things like that. So I think it's just wide open in a sense of it's a couple positions on that defense he's trying to figure out how to mix and match, but he's bringing in as many weapons as he can and mix and match and put it all together.
So now I need to know though, T. I mean, we obviously talked a little about your man, Carl Joseph. You said that, the draft could still be open as well. Do you think that Edmunds could beat those guys out in terms of if it is Carl Joseph or if it is Well, because I mean, obviously, Kyle Hamilton. We know if you're getting him, he's special. He's a little bit different. But when you think about
can land a Kyle Hamilton that early, then you have a different conversation.
Right.
That's a different conversation.
Right. But if Hamilton's out of this equation, are you taking Edmunds, Carl Joseph, or the field in this situation, man? In terms of being the starter week 1.
Starter week 1, I'm taking Edmunds. If I'm that's his job to lose.
Okay.
That makes sense. Like he is on paper when you write down the starters and you got it in pencil right now.
Yeah.
His name's in the number 1 slot in pencil. He'll be taking those first reps, you know. And then from there on what he does, I don't think it's I don't want to say competition. I think it's definitely a competition, but I think it's more of a marathon. That makes sense.
Okay.
You know, like who starts in September, October might not be the same people who start November and December. And that's not
boy,
far.
you sounding like Coach T over there now, man. You got to chill out with that, man. You know, the PTSD start pulling up. He'll do that now. You going to start in September? You going to start in October? Oh, Thanksgiving coming up. Hey, look, man, we just gonna try something out. All right,
we're gonna try something.
We're gonna try something out.
I want to see what this looks like.
Hey, man, chill, boy. You know that's his go-to right there.
I think that's really we're looking at a bigger picture. Is what I'm saying. It's a marathon competition. I don't think that spot is, and he tells us that in the pay, it hasn't been solidified. So it's still a position of question mark, if that's the right way to put it.
Yeah. Now, not to change subjects here, but we had not us, but Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin were speaking earlier today, and they were asked, a couple of questions about Stephon Tuitt, whether he'll be coming back, his availability, and they were real stern with their answer. No new updates. Said it, I believe, it was like 4 times in a row. Going into the draft, how confident are you that Tuitt will be back this season? And
I think that's the question that we're all trying to figure out. Will we have Tuitt this year? Because that's really
that's the linchpin. That changes everything.
Yeah, that changes everything. Like he's one of those solid pieces. He's a core member of the team. Like he counts. Everything about him counts. So if he's not available, it's kind of like you got to start to ask questions. Well, what are we doing? If that makes sense. What's the game plan? Do you not want to play anymore? And it's not to get insensitive because it's sensitive situations, but it's still business. Like, do you want to play? Do you not want to play? Well, what is it that you want to or don't want to do? Because he holds a lot of value. And if it's a situation of, maybe I don't want to play here or, just different, because we don't totally know his total reasons. Like I understand the emotional,
losing a parent, or it's not losing a parent, but losing a family member. Absolutely.
I do. I fully understand. And it's kind of like, not to be rude and sensitive, but was that a last year thing? Is that going to carry into this year? Because if it's carrying into this year, I think maybe you start to figure out a plan moving forward. But I don't think you can just sit in limbo with the situation because his value and who he is holds so much value. Yeah. Whether you try to trade it, you give it to some, whether you try to trade it and you get something for it or, you just need to know what it is. And I think the cards are in Tuitt's hands because I think they want him there. I know they want him there. I'm not in no hurry to move on at all, but it's kind of like your best ability is the availability.
Facts.
It's kind of like what is the plan? Like I think that's the the elephant in the room. Like what's going on? What do you want to do? And it's like whatever you want to do. How can we help you do what you need to do?
Yeah. That makes sense, man. That definitely makes sense. Well, shoot, man, before we go, because we do got to ask you this final question, man, because we won't talk to you until after the draft.
Ooh.
Okay. The draft is Thursday, correct?
Thursday, absolutely, man. So the question is, who are the Pittsburgh Steelers taking with the 20th overall selection?
Who's there?
Who we taking? Huh?
Todd McShay said
you're the GM
no teams are looking to take a quarterback in the top 19.
Uh-oh.
That was his reports today.
Uh-oh.
Take it for what you will.
I mean, it's draft. You know how that go. On draft week, everything
So all the
changes.
QBs might be available.
On draft week, all of a sudden, somebody you've never heard of is all of a sudden the top 20 pick. And
Facts. Where did this guy come from?
Yeah,
he was one of my sleepers of the draft.
Did you know he's 6'5"? And we knew that for the last month.
Seriously, man.
I personally think you see a quarterback coming here first round. From everything I read, everything I see, everything you see, it looks like they're similar in nature to how hard they were checking out running backs last year. It looks like they're checking out quarterbacks the same seriousness, the same due diligence. Like, it just seems like they're all checking quarterbacks. So I think you see a quarterback. I think, once again, if Malik's available, I think you see Malik coming here. I just think if he's available, I think you'll see him be a Steeler. I'm not positive he'll be available, but that's if he's available.
Okay.
He'll be a Steeler. I think something's going to happen, though. And obviously, of course something's going to happen. But I think a trade, you're going to see something happen that we're just not planning for. Because it's like, it is teams that need quarterbacks moving forward. It is like that. I understand what Todd McShay said. I've seen that earlier when it's kind of like they'll have their pick of the litter of quarterbacks and all. But I don't see not any quarterbacks getting taken before 20. Somebody's gonna go with a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody's gonna go with the quarterback. But I think if Malik's there, I think you see Malik go to the Steelers. Well, that's my pick.
I'm glad you said the Malik pick because I definitely like him a lot. But they also said that JT Daniels is gonna be like Malik Willis for WU. So Deke, I'm definitely concerned for you guys going forward.
Who's saying this?
That's what they're saying on the internet. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They're saying man, the way Malik was able to go to Liberty and just whoo. That's what they said JT gonna do, man.
They're comparing Slovis to Burrow, though. Man, you guys stop this.
He went to Liberty and potentially made himself a first round pick.
That's what I'm saying, man. Come on, bro.
Cool, but they didn't want anything in college. Joe Burrow won for LSU.
That's different.
That's who they're comparing Slovis to. I'm just telling you.
What? Who's they?
I saw it.
I just don't see. And I can honestly say this because I've never seen it in my time. I just don't see Pitt beating West Virginia. Like, I've never witnessed it.
He said if he ain't seen it, it never happened, man.
You gotta think. I was like, I was like in high school when stuff like that used to happen. That was a long time ago. Like, I don't really know what that looks like.
To the place.
Your memory's a little blurry.
Almost heaven.
Come on, man. Almost heaven.
We're looking good out there.
It's almost heaven.
Good.
Hell, West Virginia.
We got some weapons out wide. We're big. We're looking good. It's an exciting time to be a Mountaineer. I just got to tell the truth. It's an exciting time.
Hey, real quick. Willis is at 12. Are you trading up for him?
Trading what? You see what I mean? Like,
next year's second.
What do I have to trade to get him at 12?
Next year's second, this year's third.
Next year's second and this year's third?
Yeah, and you swap your first round picks. Yeah.
So a first, a second, and a third?
No, you swap the picks.
You swap just so you move up in the first. So you're swapping your first. So you'll still get the first round pick. You got to throw in the second and the third. I mean, you said the third from this year and the second from the following year?
Yeah. Second's big.
Is he worth it though? Is he worth it? Is he your guy?
I just don't think it's that serious. That's my. I don't think it's that serious. I don't think you're giving up. Maybe if the pick and I get third, yeah.
Maybe that gets you to 15.
Yeah.
If he falls to
I'm
15.
not giving up too much future. I don't have to super jump in front of too many people. And if it gets weird, if you can't get Malik, who's next? Yeah. Like, I don't think it's a super. I don't mean to say it, but it's not a crazy difference between 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, it's kind of a preference.
Yep.
So I don't think it's about giving up your future, because it's some good players came in the second before. You've got a Le'Veon in the second. We can name some people.
Derek Carr,
You can get
second round pick.
No, they got dudes in the second, absolutely.
You get some good players in the second. I think your team is made up of the middle round drafts. That second, third, and fourth make your team. Like that's the squad. So the first is the excitement, of course. I just don't think it's that serious to trade up and go get him at that point. I think at that point, maybe you look into your next option. You got to understand next year's draft too. Some people coming in there next year. And once again, you signed a quarterback this offseason, and you give him a couple dollars. So it's kind of like, I don't think the sense of urgency to go get this person to go trade up to go get anybody is that serious, So, I mean, that's my opinion. I don't see them trading up. I just don't see them giving up too much. If the trade can make sense, maybe a first and a third, maybe swap the first and I give you my third, sure, or something like that. But when you start to talk about, next year's second and this, like, that's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. I'm not giving you my future. Like we're here today. What do you want?
No future picks for you, man. No futures for you guys.
Today or tomorrow.
What if it was this year's second? This year's second and third? Does that change?
This year's second and third?
Yeah.
That's a lot. It's still a lot.
Because you got to believe that Malik is that guy.
Yeah,
he is a quarterback, but you got to believe that he is that guy.
I'm swapping picks. I get swapping picks, and I get maybe a third. Yeah. But when we start to say a second, a third, and I'm swapping, like that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That means like immediate impact.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of these quarterbacks in no situation are immediate impact because once again, this summer you went out and got a quarterback. If there was no quarterback there, that'd be different. Like, all right, this is an emergency or we need somebody. But I don't think the case is that we need somebody. I think if to be honest with you, you can really sit around. If you really are in a panic, this Baker situation is going to sort out kind of strange. If you really
whoa, T, you not going to slip that in, TG. You not going to just slip in a Baker and not expect a reaction now. Have you been eyeing Baker Mayfield? What's going on here?
I put on record that Baker, I don't feel is the quarterback to come to Pittsburgh.
Elaborate though. So if the money isn't right, you want to look at him a little bit. If the money was right,
we just saved a lot of money with this Edmunds.
Come on, man. The Edmunds for 2.5. I mean, we got a little bit extra now. We got a little bit extra in the pot. Come on, man.
I don't think that's for Baker. I think that just causes more controversy if he comes in there.
Can Baker beat out Mitch Trubisky in your opinion?
Then what do you do with Mitch Trubisky?
Hey man, you got a high end backup, I guess. He was just backing up my man Josh Allen in Buffalo all last year. He had no issue with it.
I think no matter what, Mason is the backup.
Okay,
that's homegrown. That's family. I think no matter what, he's the backup. He's the two going in. No matter what, I don't think you could bump him all the way down to 3 right now.
You sure? I mean, because I'm looking at them because let's see, in the order right now, Mason has the least amount of guaranteed money on his deal, but he'll get paid $5 million next year. Mitch has, I think it's like 7, or excuse me, he'll get 5. He get 5 this year. Yeah. Mason will get 5, but it's not guaranteed until week 1. Whereas for Trubisky, I think it's 7 was guaranteed for him.
5. I'm sorry. 5 guaranteed. I think it's up to 7 for his first year based off incentives of being on the roster.
He's getting 5 no matter what. For
Trubisky, yes.
If he gets cut today,
he's going to get his 5. Whereas for Mason has to make the roster week 1 to get his money.
Quarterback right there.
Yeah.
And then whoever gets drafted out of here, somebody's going to get drafted, whether it's first round or second round. Somebody's going to get drafted. That potentially might be 2, and you might see Mason get traded. You might see some type of package to where Tuitt, what are you doing? You don't want to what are you doing? We'll package these together. Go get something, something like that. But that's why the value of those second rounders and third round, you can't give that away. You can't just give that away. And I don't think anybody is that, like I said, critical up there. But I think you could see something like, say they don't land a quarterback, say this Baker just gets cut, you could Mason get cut.
Yeah.
Save that money, put that towards Baker, and now you have a credible backup just in case things go wrong, you know. But I think that's a lot of attention in there. I don't know if he comes in there and does that. I think you have to do that like week 1, you know. I don't think you can go into training camp and answer all those questions like that. I think that's a lot, you know, right. Especially if there's, you know, especially if there's a young boy, because there's going to be a young boy in there at some point. Like, it's going to be somebody. You know?
Yeah, to have Mason, the draft pick, Baker, and Trubisky. Oh, yeah, we were talking about that. It's kind of like overkill.
That's a lot.
That's way too much in one room.
But at the same time, my only reason why, even though I do feel like it's a lot, I just ask myself, how different is that from when we had Haskins? Before Haskins passed away, we were still talking about potentially drafting a quarterback, and you would still be sitting there with, what, 2 former first rounders, 1 guy that you have a first round grade on in terms of Mason Rudolph, and then you got the draft pick. I just look at it as it would still be that same type of situation.
Way different. Like, you had to think and respect the Haskins. He had been sitting for the last 2 years as well. You know how it go. Like, out of sight, out of mind can go quick. You know what I mean? Shout out my man Gino up there. Gino hasn't been started.
Shout out my man Gino.
Shout out my man Gino. Gino hasn't been starting for a few years to where he's not classified as a direct starter right now. Even to the point of Seattle is like, we need a quarterback, you know? And it's a lot of the same situations. Like, everybody's somebody. Like, nobody's just nothing in this league. Everybody's somebody. But it's kind of where you're at in your story. Baker started last year. You know what I mean? Like Baker, like, not that he's just been a winner, but like it's the first pick in the draft at a point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't just go from that to now you're just a 2. Like, it don't just fall like that. That's a serious fall from grace in a sense. And I don't think he's done just that bad to fall that far from grace. That makes sense. So
fair enough.
I think that's kind of a situation in waiting. I think you wait and see, because some things happen. This football is fluent. Quarterbacks get hurt. People get dinged up. I think you kind of let things sort itself out, and that's where he's going to find himself. But I think you'll see a young quarterback come in here. I think that's the setup. It's a new QB coach in the building. You know, they're setting up to where I see a young QB coming in here. You'll see Mitch be the one. I think it'll be interesting to see how that sorts out. Now, that's the question, whether it's Mason or whether it's the back or the new person. But yeah, that's the question. You know, maybe you save on that money, you let the new person ride, and you trade Mason out. You know, but I think I don't. That position is all it can be one. And you don't want to just have money just sitting and holding. You know, especially if it has no chance to play. You know, so I think that'd be interesting. I think that's more of the scenario you'll see than anything. Is somebody come in here and potentially Mason get traded or cut, and then let that whoever you pick grow up
as the backup. Yeah, so you're liking Mitch then, though.
I'm liking Mitch. I think it's built for Mitch. I think you paid for that. I think you built the O-line this summer. You got the running back. I think that's the plan. Run the ball. You got big receivers out wide, slowly but surely. Good blocking receivers.
And Mitch, we trust.
Mitch, we trust.
Start the campaign, Deacon. Mitch, we trust. Nah,
for this year.
We need a better slogan.
Just for this year. He's silly, man.
We need a better slogan, but yeah, we can work on that.
Just this year.
For press. Just for this year. Just for this.
My dog. But no, man, as always, it's just for this year. As always, man, definitely appreciate you pulling up, man. Taking some time to hop on with us, baby. And we're going to do this again, baby. All right?
Salute. Go Ears, man.
My dog, go Ears.